For being in this hobby for over 4 years and now being a reviewer for over a year and a half, I'm honestly surprised with myself I've yet to build some sort of mono-eye kit. Well, I say let's fix that with one of the best, shall we?
I've got intense heat signatures approaching at high speed. I count 4 total. They're approaching from directly above us.
Are they missiles?
No, sir. Not judging by their flight paths. I'd say they were mobile suits. But the way they're navigating the debris field... it's impossible. The lead machine is approaching it. 3 times the speed of the others.
This should be interesting. Let's test the performance of your brand new Gundam.
Hey guys, it's 101R Smith, back again with another review, this time of the Master Grade Sinanju OVA version. This is a kit that's been on the long list of kits that I need to build, and it's been on that list for almost as long as I've been in this hobby. One of the things that's been holding me back was the fact of literally the price point. For years, I've been trying to find a Sinanju that wasn't anything less than $70 or $80. And a couple of months ago, I actually found one for about $63, so I refused to pass this up. So, yeah, this is technically my second ever unicorn kit. Very early on in my building career, I built the unicorn and I was completely dissatisfied with it. So I swore off of unicorn kits. But since I've become a better builder since that time, I figured I'd give them another try. And what other try is there with the Sinanju? Now, this is the OVA version, which is different than the Verka. The Verka came out in 2008, and this is a re-release that I want to say came out in 2013. This came out to fix an issue that came with the Verka. You see, the Verka was originally made with ABS plastic, and it came with a huge defect of the ball joint in the waist always breaking off and needing a metal replacement in order to fix it. This tries to fix that by making this made of polystyrene plastic. Another addition from the Verka is it adds a bazooka that was seen in episode 4 of the OVA, but was only a magazine exclusive up until this point. So it gives you an additional weapon and hopefully a better inner frame. I'm pretty excited about this because I am a Char fan and I always like the Sinanju, so why don't we open up and see what we have here. Opening up the box, and I could definitely tell that this is one of the more involved master grades in line. There are just so many different runners in terms of colors and color separation, from hot rod red, gray, black, and definitely a little hints of yellows as well. I like the choice of red. It's not the salmon pink like early Char kits. It's definitely the more bolder red coming from the Sazabi, and it really is going to work pretty well standing out. I definitely say that this is one of the kits, if you could paint the inner frame, this is definitely one of them. It has so many different moving pieces to it, it will work fantastically. Also, I do like the fact that the runner that comes with the bazooka is definitely more of a brownish gray than the other parts. So even the weapons are going to be able to stand out a bit more in comparison to the inner frame. It was also nice of Bandai to give you a decision about with the sleeve designs whether to go with a water slide attempt or one of the foil stickers, or if you can paint it on your own, but thankfully Bandai decided to give you that choice on your own. All built up, and now we have the Master Grade Sinanju. My question of why this is always one of the more expensive master grades has been answered, because this thing is huge. This is definitely one of the biggest master grades I've ever built that isn't the O or Sazabi. This thing is big and menacing, sharp red, and the sleeves designs with this kit. I decided to go with the foil stickers because in my attempt to try to use the water slides, they all kept breaking off. But still, you definitely want to pick this up. This thing is just huge and it's going to stand out in your collection and being very sharp. Now, while this looks good, let's Articulation to see how Sazabi moves as big as. Like always, we're going to start with the head. The head has 2 joints on the base and the top of the neck, which is going to give you a large range of motion, and definitely can go 360 degrees, no problem. The shoulder on Sinanju is on its own hinge, as well as the shoulder piece on the side. The arm can go out pretty far if you use them all together, and you can go 360 degrees, no problem, and you don't even have to worry about hitting the backpack. You're going to get a swivel on the bicep, and you're going to get an awesome double jointed knee. Now with the fingers, they are the 3, 1, and thumb. However, you can modify it so that every finger on its own is articulated, just like I did here. The waist is a little loose, but you can get some decent crunches out of it. The front, side, and back skirts can all be moved individually. The leg is a little bit stiff, but once you move it, you can get a beautiful bend out of the knee with shifting armor. As well, you can move the side plates for when you want to activate 3 times faster mode, as I like to call it. And you're going to get a slightly amount of articulation out of the toes. You're also going to get articulation out of the backpack in terms of the wings and the fuel tanks on the back. So Sinanju, despite of its size, can move pretty decently. Now, just like when any other kit, Sinanju comes with a ton of accessories. And I gotta say, this is definitely one of the kits where you get a ton of accessories and your imagination can go wild. First off, you're gonna get the shield. The shield is definitely one of the more trademark aesthetics of the Sinanju, and it works in different ways. For example, you're gonna be able to connect the shield standard way by pushing it towards the forearm. I find the connection isn't the strongest, but it works pretty well. Another way you can connect the shield is through the shoulder pad with this piece. However, I couldn't do it and I was starting to stress the plastic, so I decided not against it. Next, you're going to get the beam rifle, and this looks really well done. I really like the look of it and the angles of it. Now, what you could do is have the Sazabi hold it like any other beam weapon. However, I find that the tabs on the hands just aren't strong enough, and no matter how hard I try to push it into the tabs, I can only get it to pose straight out for a few seconds before the beam rifle starts to fall off completely. Now you're going to get what I like to call the beam axe. You're going to get 2 sets of beam blades. You're going to get the short end and the long end. And definitely one of the best parts about this is you can also connect it into the shield, so you can use the shield as a melee weapon as well. So it definitely gives you a lot of variety to work with in terms of beam weapons. But if you don't want to use the beam axe, you also get your standard beam sabers that are connected on the insides of the forearm, and luckily all the beam effect parts are accurate in yellow. Next is the Bazooka. The Bazooka is originally a magazine exclusive for the Sinanju for COD, but now this is a normal release as part of the kit. You can use it in the shoulder in tandem to hold it up. However, I find that the Bazooka just doesn't work very well with me, and you can only really hold it out an extension in weird angles. However, you can combine the Bazooka in a lot of cool and different ways, such as combining it with the beam rifle or combining it with the shield. Now that I got Sinanju and I'm thinking about everything, I gotta be honest with you guys, my feelings on this kit are a bit mixed. While this thing definitely looks amazing and menacing in its appearance, one of the things that hurts it is just the fact that you can't hold up the weapons. If you're wondering why you didn't get a lot of posing in this review, this is honestly due to the accessories. I find that the accessories, especially the beam rifle, the pegs for the hands just do not work as well as I thought they would. No matter how hard I try to push it, the weapons keep falling off. Also, the problem was just a lot of weight issues. I tried to combine everything with the shield, and the hand would just not move at all. It definitely became a brick and just would not work. Sinanju has a lot of articulation, which is a shame why I couldn't pose it as well as I wanted to do here. Another nitpick I have is just when it comes to the sleeves designs. I really wish there was some way, like in the real grade, where it was integrated as part of color separation instead of having to choose between the foil stickers and the water slides. I tried to use the water slides and it kept flaking off, so I'm stuck with the foils. But just like any toy has with stickers, eventually one day those foil stickers are going to come out. One other problem I had with this kit was the posing effects on the waist. Now while it worked on the waist, no matter how hard I tried to connect it with the side skirt armor, it would not work at all. I kept trying to push it, I kept trying to make it fit together, but it just would not go, and eventually I just had to give up. And it just is disappointing. This is still a good kit, but it has a lot of issues. I really wish the hand pegs were more in vein of Sabi and New Gundam Recall, where the weapon and the hand peg into each other. The pegs just aren't strong on this kit. Not to say that this is bad, but it's still a mixed bag. It really depends on how much fun you want to have with Sinanju and what you are expecting to get out of in terms of posability and just honestly a lot of fun it happens. This is 101 R Smith, and I will see you later. Peace!